Hi there, my name is Max Prescott and I'm here to do a presentation on the challenges and the solutions to those challenges in the business world. Okay, so our world that we live in is rapidly changing all the time, with seemingly new innovations every other day, especially in the business environment. Business has had to adapt dramatically in only a single generation by adopting new marketing avenues such as websites and social media, as well as deciding how and where to utilise said new technologies and to broaden their business to compete on a global level as, well, never seen before really. This rapid development in technologies and therefore the rapid growth of the business playing field has led to a plethora of new challenges that business must evolve in order to maintain business excellence. I myself have noticed firsthand how these modern complexities can affect a business. I've worked at the Shankly Hotel in Liverpool for 18 months now, and my time there has given light to the challenges the business has had to solve and the challenges the business is in the process of solving. The first challenge I've noticed the business had to face while working there was not surprisingly the leadership slash the management of the hotel itself. Often I noticed the leadership lacking in certain areas, and certainly not for a lack of trying, but instead I would say it was instead due to a lack of understanding of the business terrain. This could be due to the fact that the business was constantly cycling through managers and supervisors to manage and run certain aspects of the business, while the managers had little to no experience in those aspects itself. This is supported by Brown, where Brown suggests that new leaders who do not have prior knowledge of corporate history, which in turn presents issues with the leaders not understanding the reasoning behind specific strategic decisions. Although on the surface these challenges can easily be attributed to the managers themselves at the lower levels, not knowing the proper strategic decisions in order to execute business excellence, it is in fact the management above them whom are at fault here. This is supported by Beer, 2003, when suggested that the failure of proper management was often attributed to the inability of senior management to implement the proper managerial rhetoric throughout the business or organisation. It goes on to claim that senior leadership are attributed to being the cause of this challenge due to a gap between the practices of senior leadership and the rhetoric they push, which in turn undermines the initiatives the business was striving for. So, in essence, Bear is suggesting that the senior leadership should practice what they preach in order to maintain a good leadership structure, and more credence should be given to the effectiveness of leadership throughout the business. However, as just suggested by Beer, the challenges faced by leadership can in some circumstances be attributed to senior leadership. Contrary to the fact, it is also noticed that this lack of consistency at the highest levels of leadership can strangely motivate the underling managers to strive for excellence themselves. It is further suggested by Brown that the reasoning behind this is due to the frustration of the failure of past practices carried out by the senior leadership. Taking the points made by Brown and Beer, it is apparent that there needs to be a supportive and passionate leader at the head of a business in order for the business to thrive. Just as importantly, there needs to be a trained and versatile sub-leadership to carry out such initiatives. To tackle such challenges, it is vital for a business that a business creates an environment where there is little leeway for people to manage or lead without the proper know-how. To create such an environment, Brown suggests that a routine of self-assessment to ensure that people are accountable for their actions. The studies carried out by Van der Wiel and Brown support this, as they found that a routine of audits, self-assessments and management systems are imperative for sustaining a worthy management system. The study goes on to state that in carrying out these audits, it ensures that leaders and managers are appointed to the area of the business that they will best benefit based on their prior skills or knowledge. What Brown and Beer have suggested through their literature to face such challenges of management would greatly benefit the Shankly Hotel completely. As I have mentioned, the issue being the lack of understanding in the managerial positions. Using what Van der Wiel suggests, the Shankly should conduct frequent evaluations of the managerial positions at all levels to ensure that people in such positions are properly versed and trained in order to execute the business excellence where they are designated. This way, anyone in said positions who is not carrying out their duties correctly and effectively will be brought to light, and further actions will be taken in order to either they receive further training or in extreme circumstances they could be replaced and sacked. While management is clearly an underlying challenge to the Shankly Hotel and any business for that matter, it is linked to another crucial challenge faced by the Shankly itself, and that being its employees. I've noticed throughout my time working there at the Shankly Hotel that a key issue faced by the business is that of all the employees getting on the same page, so to speak. And this essentially meaning that employees who work for the business may not always have the same understanding of what a hard day's work is, and standards vary between each employee. This links to the managerial challenges, as there is a key link between employee performance and managerial communication to the employees. It is further suggested by Brown that the reasoning behind communication being a key factor is due to the fact it is an ongoing challenge to convey the proper operational strategies to the employees, as well as keeping the employees engaged in the strategies themselves. With a lack of such communication, employees of a business will have no clear understanding of what the business goals are, as well as this, not knowing what the goals will lead to carrying out, and basically standards will begin to slip because people don't know what the business practice is, and standards slip in essence. Another key issue with this communication between managerial roles and its employees is that of the employees becoming disenfranchised, meaning that in a workplace where employees don't have their voices heard by the managers, the employees are not going to respect the decisions of the managers, and in turn it undercuts the effectiveness of the management positions. To combat such challenges, Brown suggests that an open culture or a open door policy in the workplace will be greatly beneficial, as it ensures that employees of any level can have an input on the issues of the business is facing, as well as have their voices heard by higher managerial individuals whom they otherwise wouldn't usually have the opportunity to speak with. Another method to improve the communication is to have skip meetings in which employees have the opportunity to meet managers above their own. This way, in having their opinions valued and regularly kept in the loop, so to speak, the employees will feel a greater sense of engagement to the business, and therefore, in theory, their productivity should increase. The open door policy certainly combats the challenge of employees becoming disenfranchised, yet for conveying the proper business strategies and goals to the employees, it needs to be tackled a very different way. Further suggested by Brown that to convey the proper business strategies to said employees, it is important to get the employees and management together frequently. This can be anything from a formal staff meeting to something a lot less formal, like an employee breakfast. Either way, the goal is to get managers and employees together and talking. Another method to convey the business goals is through regular updates to give the employees. And this can be a weekly newsletter or a social media page which can clearly highlight in writing what it is the business is setting out to do. Overall, the strategies put forth by Brown would be greatly beneficial to the Shankly Hotel if the business were to adopt a good balance of said strategies. A good open door policy or skip meetings would be greatly beneficial, as most of the employees have a manager above them who is their own managerial voice, and that's all they can talk to. And they very rarely get the chance to speak with anyone above that manager. This way, a good rapport can be established between the employees and the managers and the two parties. As well, the Shankly should adopt more frequent meetings or incorporate a social media page so that employees can all get onto the same page and work effectively as a team toward a common goal. The issues brought to light here are only two of the many business challenges that any business is going to have to face at one time or another. Overall, the best thing for a business to do is to strive for business excellence in anything that they do. It does not matter how trivial it may seem. So thank you very much for listening to my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it.